Hallelujah, Jesus and Mary and Joseph. I thought I was going to get fucked again, and not in a fun way. Fucking YouTube, man. Sorry. Hi, my name is Julia. This is the fucking yoga studio. Yoga for the rest of us. All of the benefits, none of the bullshit. There's a lot of bullshit. There's just no fitness bullshit here. That being said, yesterday I'm blaming it on solar flares. I had 2 meetings get canceled because Zoom, and then they couldn't figure out Google Meet. And that was after YouTube screwed me, and then Spotify was down. I don't know if you guys listen to Spotify. I would not want to be. Sorry, I think I'm shouting. Also, I think I spilled my coffee. Oh, damn it. Who? And if it's you, fuck you. Puts white carpet. White carpet. No. Mm-mm. And we live on a farm. A farm. Sorry. That was a rant. Okay. Anyway. I would not want to be, told my husband, I would not want to be an engineer at Spotify yesterday. Or Zoom or YouTube. Because, man, people were angry. And you know what? They should have been. They should be. Unless they all got hacked. And then I will feel really bad for those engineers. But anyway. All right. Because I have a hitch in my giddy up, I am not doing calisthenics today. But technically I've done calisthenics the last 3 days by moving multiple concrete blocks. I was going to look it up. You know, in the vernacular, we called them cinder blocks. If you were a college, I don't know if they still do it, but you know, if you were a college student in the 80s, 70s, 60s, right? It was like your go-to, you know, grab a few cinder blocks, couple of, 2x8s, and boom, you had a bookshelf. It was, chic. Anyway, now they're called concrete blocks. So I was going to look at the difference. I was going to look that up. Anyway, because I've been moving concrete blocks, I'm building a patio around a fire ring, and I'm doing some of those concrete box flower boxes. Anyway, before the snow comes, it's going to snow here tomorrow. It's been 70 all week, 65 today, 32 tomorrow. Springtime. Anyway, I'm not going to push through this. I've got some massive, and it is hamstring and hip, like glute tightness. And so today's a freebie because I'm going to do it solely because my body has said, I'm like, I'm going to do some squats, and we're going to do some weights, and we're going to do some, slow, I'll call them step backs, but other people call them burpees. And my body was like, you want to do what? So I'm listening to my body, and thus we're all going to get treated to a little work on the foam roller. Now, if you don't have a foam roller, for me, here's what I'm going to talk to you about before we get started. This is a must-have. It's a 36-inch foam roller. This is probably the 5th one I have because they disappear. My children, my offspring, they keep disappearing and my husband keeps taking them because while they won't do my yoga, which would help them in general too as well, they have embraced the torture, the horribleness that is the foam roller. 36 inches. I don't know what the diameter is, but I think once you get, when they're shorter, you can get different diameters. And if you want to invest in that kind of, all of those different shapes, feel free. This to me is the Swiss Army knife of self-treatment. Okay. As in addition to just go get a can of tennis balls. In fact, get 2 cans, because once you start using these and someone says, oh, what are you doing? And you show them, your family will also abscond with tennis balls. These are actually a little smaller than normal tennis balls because I ordered special purple ones for when I was teaching. I have a whole bag of them over there. So these are a little smaller, I think, than a normal tennis ball. Anyway, and then if you really start digging in hard to the self-treatment, maintenance, I'll call it maintenance. I found these Mama Jammas, which are, they're called Tough Balls. It's a dog toy because we all know that testicles are really the pansiest fucking snow melting organs. So when you say, get a pair of balls, you're really not saying anything. You want to be tough? Get yourself a fucking vagina. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, sorry, I digressed. I'm having rage today. I read the news before I came in here and I shouldn't have. What is wrong with wind fucking generators? What is wrong with it? Okay. I'm going to breathe in and breathe out. Now, these are industrial strength dog toys. And I have also had to order multiples of these because they mysteriously disapparate when my offspring come over and use them. But these are intense in a different way. Tennis balls are good for the nooks and crannies. These are good for pressure, I think. Also, when you're using them with your back, you get a wider arc for stretching rather than fascia work. So when we're working with all of this stuff, all of these wonderful, weird things, and you also need some sort of strap. We're talking about deep tissue release and fascia. And fascia is the fibrous, it's a sheath. It's a very thin layer of fibrous tissue that helps connect your muscle to the bone. And then it runs down, right? And it can get extraordinarily tight. Your muscles can get bound up. So your muscles are also fibers. And if you're a knitter or a crocheter, you know what happens when those fibers start rubbing together, or you're using fluffy fibers. They get knots. And that's what happens to your muscles. They get stuck together. And those are knots in your muscles. And so when we work, a massage therapist can, they will manipulate all of those fibers and tissue, all of that tissue to release this tightness. But if you can't afford a massage therapist, it's getting very expensive. I think that is an absolute, it really is a must, I think, for almost all of us. But it's also, one of those expensive luxuries, I think, in that same vein. It's weird, but people should get paid for their work, and it's a very physical work. So anyway, this to me is a great way of like changing, it's like changing your oil or filling up your windshield wiper fluid. I don't know why I suddenly veered into car metaphors, but it's maintenance that you can do for yourself at a very little expense. A good foam roller, don't get a squishy one, get a firm foam roller. There's different grades. And if it's too firm, you can put a blanket over the top of it, right? Or a towel and help cushion that. But you want a firm foam roller because you want the support. You don't want it to be squishy. You don't want to sag into it. And then the strap will help us manipulate our length of length of muscle, so that we can get a little bit more stretch out of things. The tennis balls are nooks and crannies. Grab a bottle of water. You're going to need it. And I'm just telling you, it's the worst thing. It's just torture. Okay. I was going to say it's the worst thing in the world, but there are definitely worse things in the world lately. It's rough. This is not a fun process. You're going to feel so much better when we get off this thing, though. So the results are worth all of the work, right? And I'm going to cry a little bit. I mean, I'm not kidding. When you need this, at the same time, I want to get on here because I know I'll feel better, but I know how badly this is going to be. Woo! There's a reason I call them foam roller torture sessions. Okay. So if you don't have a foam roller, I mean, $20 will get this for you. 36 inches. I think this is really a must-have if you want to do any, it's just, I don't even, how can I explain that you should all have one of these? All right. So, you could use a bolster. I mean, you could use this, like if you had this bolster, this size bolster, you could use this. It's just not going to be as effective. Okay. Number one, right? Look at the diameter. It's not as thick. It's not as, the radius is not as large as this. And then this is squishy, right? Even this one, which is made out of buckwheat, which I still have a love-hate relationship with because it's got a long zipper on it. The zipper really should have been here instead of here. This is lazy ass bullshit. And this wasn't cheap. It still has some give. So, that's what I'm talking about. Here we go. Foam roller torture. Well, we're not even going to talk about it. Let's go. So this is going to be a little hodgepodgey. I don't have any. Normally, when I do a foam roller workshop, my notebook's up there. I plan it all out, and we move from one part of the body to the other. I'm making all these, I make these connections based on muscle groups and how we work and all those things. This is just fucking catch as catch can because I have a pain where in the insertion connection between my hamstring and my pelvic cradle that is almost, I don't know, it's every time I move, it's like, got to take a big deep breath and then move on. So that's why we're here, because I could hardly even, I was struggling through my morning today. Actually, my dad was struggling today too. Is it the weather? Or does anybody, I'm going to do some research on dementia and pressure systems. All right. So, I didn't even walk you through this process, did I? Just doing my own thing. All right. So first we're going to work with the foam roller horizontally. And when I'm talking about horizontal, vertical in this instance with foam rollers, I'm talking about in relation to your body. This is horizontal position, right? This is working vertically. So this would be, this is going to be a lot of spine and upper body work, front and back. This one is horizontal, and we can do a lot of weird and wonderful things with this. Mamma jamma. So I'm going to start by just leaning on it like I was sitting on the beach, right? So if you just press your elbows onto this foam roller, and you can see there's zero give in this foam roller, and then I'm just lowering myself, upper body, to the foam roller. I'm going to adjust it because I'm crooked. And I'm just going to hang out here for a minute because there's some stretchy going on. When you're yard work season, gardeners, this is a must, man. Alicia, I'm thinking about you. So now I've got this foam roller midpoint on my shoulder blades. So I'm feeling the fascia that connect my rhomboids, major and minor. Ooh. It's basically a little massage that you can give to yourself. Deep tissue work that you can control. Now, there's not much controlling body weight in this position. So if this is too intense, add a blanket. That'll, that offers a cushion between you and the foam roller. I'm going to tilt my body back. I've got my head cradled in my hands. My elbows are wrapped around my head, and I'm just going to drop. Oh. Now, we control the movement of the foam roller with our feet and the body, right? So I'm going to move my feet forward a little bit. I'm going to rock up. It's like rolling out a pastry. You can lift your hips. That can intensify the pressure. You can lower your hips, right? Take that pressure off and come on up. That's one of the places where I think you could lay for a really long time. And if it's too intense with your head back that far, put a block behind you, so that your head, if you want to rest there, you can put a block underneath your head or a pillow and help support your head. So now I'm pushing toward the roller with my body, which moves the roller further down my back. Okay. So now I'm at the tippy tips of my shoulder blades, and I'm going to lower my sacrum, engaging my core. I'm tilting my pelvic cradle up, pushing in to the feet, and I'm going to lower down. I'm lengthening back. I'm going to open my elbows now. And I'm just going to hold here. I'm stretching, let's see, pecs, teres minor. There's not a lot of subscap here. Delts. Tilt your elbow to one side. So lower the elbow toward the foam roller. And lower the other. Tilt the body the other way. Now you can control the strength of this stretch by taking the angle of the elbows up, right? I've got my elbows wide and open toward the mat. That's pretty strong. You can bring them up and do the same thing. I'm also dipping a little deeper toward the floor. If you do a lot of forward work, computer, knitting, sewing, gardening, this is a really good one. Also, I'm getting some deeper tissue work into that rhomboid over the top of my shoulder blade. Woo! Lift those hips again. I'm rolling up. So now I'm just doing a little knead work. K-N-E-A-D. English language is ridiculous. And coming on down. All right. I'm going to rock myself because I'm feeling this release all the way up into the strap muscles. I'm going to rock myself up to the base of my skull. So now I'm resting my cervical spine on the foam roller. I'm going to move my shoulders out of the way, tuck my chin, and now I'm pressing into the occipital. Is that the occipital depression? The base of your skull. So the foam roller is laying between the base of my neck and the base of my skull. There's a device that you can purchase somewhere where you hook it to the doorknob, and then it's a strap. It's like a hammock for your head, and it's traction. This is traction. Now you can also do a little work here. You can tilt your head slightly to the left, or turn your head slightly to the right. Son of a bitch. My arms, I've just got my triceps resting on this foam roller. Get a little work in that regard. Big deep inhales. Big deep exhales. Long overdue. Now look, I'm getting a little bit more tilt out of my head because I've been hanging out here. We can also do some work with the tennis balls, which I might finish off with. Another position where you can kind of hang out here and just take some deep breaths. You can work through some yoga nidra here. This would be a lovely, I would actually add a blanket or a towel if you were going to hang out here for any length of time. I'm feeling heat and energy release all the way down. Look at that. Did you see the first head tilt I did? I couldn't even go. My first head tilt was this. Now I can go all the way over. That's what I'm talking about. You just don't even know what a little pressure, a little hanging out traction can do for you. Whew. That's a big, big, big release all the way down my spine. I'm going to lift my head with my hands, just with my fingertips, and come on down to lay on the mat. Now, I'm going to move the, I'm feeling a big release in my biceps. That was weird. That's an interesting one. So we're going to do back first, and then we're going to do hips and hams, or we'll do back and hams and then hips. Let's do that. Like I said, I am trying to get this. If you damage it, you can get a little muscle tear. It's called yoga butt. And a lot of people think it's a muscle strain, tight muscle. It's actually damage. All right. So I pushed into my feet, I lifted my hips, and now I've got this foam roller right above my pelvic cradle. So just below my natural waist. So your natural waist is right here, right? And usually in alignment with your belly button. I'm just, the top edge of my pelvic cradle is on this foam roller. Again, just hanging out right here. I'm starting to get a foot cramp. That's what happens when you work through and divert tension out of one area of your body. It sends nerve impulses to other areas, and usually your feet. My tailbone is hanging, and I'm just using my body weight to stretch this low lumbar area. Now, the low lumbar area is nothing but fascia. It's nothing but fascia. Your hamstrings connect, your glutes, your piriformis, your QLs, your latissimus dorsi, your transverse abdominis, your internal and external obliques. They all insert in this low lumbar area. And that's why it is often so achy. So I'm just hanging here. And what I'm feeling is iliopsoas stretching, right? Transverse abdominis stretching. The iliopsoas goes right up underneath your rib cage. It inserts back here. That's your hip flexor. So I'm going to lift my left knee. And you feel that translation. I'm going to work transfer. Let's call it transfer. I was going to call it translation. Let's call it transfer, which is a better word for it, of energy from the iliopsoas, when I take that stretch out of it, into this insertion point of the abdominals, the internal and external obliques and transverse abdominis. Flex the foot, point, just rock and roll. Son of a bitch. All right, I'm going to tilt my body toward the left, so I'm rocking hip up. This is all fascia right here. This is a fascia connection of the transverse abdominis. Rocking up. I'm going to relax my right leg and let it hang toward the mat. I didn't do that on the other side. I'm going to do that on the other side. Lift that leg up. All right. Right there. This is the insertion point that I am experiencing. That's it. This is the spot, man. All right, I'm going to rock to the left and let that left leg hang. All right, my eyes are watering. Slowly rocking it up. Oh, it's right there. All right. I didn't cue you to grab the strap, and I should have. I'm going to rock down a little bit. So I'm moving my body up. I'm moving the foam roller down a skosh. And I'm going to hang here. Now this is just pressure into the sacrum, the SI joint, the sacroiliac. I'm going to adjust my shirt because it's bunching up there. And I'm going to take a little rock to the left. So now I'm into glute minor. And I'm holding the foam roller with my forearms so that it doesn't just rock. Oh, right on out. Who's with me with the, oh, it's right here. It's right there. It's the glute med, glute minor. It's the insertion point into my SI. Right there. See, I thought it was glute max, glutamus max. Yeah, glute max. It's not. It's right here in the glute med and glute minor. Maybe into the piriformis as well. There's some tugging going on. Whew, I'm going to lift my hips. So press into the heels, lift your hips. I'm going to move that foam roller down manually with the hands just a little bit. Mostly because I'm at the end of the mat. And I'm taking this side to side rock. Oh my goodness. Now, if you find a spot where you have to stop, just hold and breathe right through that tension. I don't have to tell you where those positions are. What I like, okay, so I did some work with I have a hypervolt massage gun. Here's what I don't like about it. It's the vibration. And I know that, so the massage therapist that recommended it to me, actually, Paul, you used to use it on me too, but you had a big one. You had it was on a stand. I really would love that one because you could change the vibration, the rate of the vibration. All right, I just moved that foam roller down another little skosh with my hands, and I'm going to rock slowly left to right. Now, that's why I liked the one you had, Paul, but I bet that one's like $5,000. I can't afford that one. The Hypervolt gun has one speed. Well, it has a low speed. I mean, you can increase the speed, but you can't slow the speed down. The reason that is a good thing is because the vibration confuses the nerves in the muscle, and then your muscle kind of relaxes. It's like a magician's trick. It's distraction, right? Much like our the current regime in America. You're using the art, in this case, fucking fraud of distraction to convince us. Sorry, I'm digressing. Now, but it can also be very intense. Whereas this, so I did the same. I worked with the Hypervolt gun last night because I couldn't sleep. And, I got some relief, but it was very intense. This I like because you can pause, right? You can hold the pressure, take a few deep breaths, and then convince your muscle to relax that way. Rather, for me, it's soothing rather than, oh my God. And the Hypervolt is it's very uncomfortable when you're working on your neck. That's the only thing. So if there was something that there's those massage chairs, which I would never buy one, but you know, where it goes, I can see the benefit of that on your neck, which is where a massage therapist comes into play. Tilt up with the tailbone. Oh, I'm feeling this right here in the iliopsoas. Okay, now we're going to roll down a little bit. And it's right on the edge. Now I'm right on the edge of the tailbone. Let's see. So iliac crest, right? Iliac spine, mid. I'm at the midline. And I'm going to move into the deeper gluteus maximus. Yeah, see, it's not my glute max. It's all glute med, glute minor, piriformis. So some tennis ball work in around the SI joint is going to be called for. And we're going to do some hamstring work. Then we're going to move the foam roller back up. We're going to use it to stretch a little. So right now we're just going side to side. I'm just rocking in. And you're controlling it, right? You can control the speed. You can hold and get some relief in those spots, like right there. I'm going to bring my knee up. Lift, push into the heels, and roll down a little bit. Now I have to hold on to the foam roller here because I am right on the edge of back pressure. Just need to take a little back release. I'm going to rock into left, rock into, that was the opposite. This is left. I'm going to move my hands out to the edge so I can get a little deeper into this rock and roll. That's the piriformis and glute med. Oh yeah, I'm going to get in there. There's a Paul, I miss you. Paul is my retired massage therapist. Oh. Yeah, right here. It's piriformis, glute minor. So I'm changing the angle of my leg. I'm doing a little work here. Oh, yeah. So I'm feeling this glute med, piriformis, and it's right around the femur, the head of the femur, in the hip girdle. Oh, and then I'm going to rock down slowly. Now, lift the legs and let the legs hang. So now we're going to do some pressure work in hamstrings. Oh, and just breathe for a minute. So your hip girdle, right? I just got into this with a yoga client, and I don't want to, listen, I'm not a surgeon. I'm not a medical professional. I should look it up before I start talking. The head, like the head of the humerus, the head of the femur, rest inside, right? So and it's more complicated in the shoulder because there's a lot of different bones, right? There's a bone that goes over the top. So the shoulder girdle is a little bit more contained. The head of that femur, no, that's not your femur, that's your humerus, is a little bit more contained in terms of the joint and the bones that surround it, right? And the reason that it's evolution, it's biomechanics. The reason that I'm going to say, and again, I'm not a medical professional, and evolutionary biomechanics must be an absolutely fascinating. Let's move that foam roller down a little bit. Lift the hips, relax the heels. Son of a bitch. That's what I should study because I'm absolutely fascinated by kinesiology and biomechanics. The body is an incredible thing. It's an incredible fucking thing. So anyway, the shoulder, because the shoulder has such a wide range of motion, right? It needs a lot more support, both with the bone structure and the ligaments. The hip is a little bit more simple, right? We have the hip girdle, the hip joint. The legs have a little bit less range of motion. Relax the hips down. Sorry, roll that foam roller down, and now lift the hips. So now we're gonna rock. Oh. Roll the knees in, touch the toes. Roll the legs out. We're moving into hamstring. We're moving into a little bit into the IT band. What was I going to say? Sorry, I'm having a response. Well, I lost it because what? That's why. You're going to control the pressure on this muscle. This is the hamstring. I'm going to rock out. That's IT band. By lifting or lowering the hips. Oh, lower the heels. Try to relax the heels. I was and now I'm rocking left to right with the hips. Oh, I am already going to feel 100% better. I can just tell you right now. I could spend all day on this Mama Jamma, let me just say. Hips are flat. I'm rocking my knees in, rocking knees out, right? So my hips are on the mat. Rolling the legs into internal and external rotation. Now lift the hips and do the same thing. Oh, man. Let me just say, this is why we work. This is why we work this shit, because listen, my dad's struggling today, and I really feel for him. He's struggling physically as well as, he's got a little fog going on. I do think it is the weather. I'm going to look that up. Okay, rock out. This is insertion point of okay, I can't talk. Sorry. Lift the leg, lower the leg. Lift the leg, lower the leg. Oh my God. Oh. And now I'm going to move back and forth here. This is IT band and hamstring wraparound. Ooh. Around that knee joint. Oh, just rest the legs for a minute. All right. I'm going to move the foam roller back up. And I'm going to rest my sacrum on it, right below the upper edge of my hips. So this is a pretty neutral position. And we're going to take, oh no, I rolled up onto my strap. Now you don't have to use the strap. I'm going to use the strap. So the first thing we're going to do is take the hands around the left knee, lengthen the right leg, and drop it toward the mat. Say hello to your iliopsoas bundle. This is the right side, hip flexor. Inhaling and exhaling. You know, I guess there is a little bit of logic going on here. I have a mixed feelings about this top. Oh, breathe, 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 breathe. Holding a little long. Your hip flexor is a big, 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 hard-working group of muscles. Bring that knee up. Oh, something just popped back into place. Hands over right knee. Lengthen the left leg and drop it toward the mat. Oh. I'm feeling this one into quad too, but ain't no secret my left side is super tight after moving all those fucking concrete blocks. Now, I would love, actually, you could do this also on a ball if you have a stabilization ball. On this side, maybe I will do this on if you have an ottoman, you could get a little deeper into this, or you could put your foam roller on a block. Oh, I need more length. This is when, I'm telling you, I would use, in this case, this stretch would be really intense. And for me, better served if I had a wider radius of a foam roller. That's where maybe one of those short, fat ones might come in handy. Maybe I will invest in one. Bring that knee up and in. Oh, press the heels up toward the ceiling. Hold on to the foam roller, and now let the legs drop toward your head. This is hamstring stretch. Just using gravity. Actually, I'm not even going to use the strap. Gravity's fine here. Just breathe. Right here. Hamstring. Right up the back of the leg. And bring those knees down. All right, I'm going to rock myself up using the foam roller like a seesaw. Lengthen those legs. I'm grabbing a drink of water and we're going to take a forward fold. We're going to work. This one's a bad one, guys. I'm not going to, there's no way to, you could tap out right here, I think, and be fine. This is this issue I'm having is a QL, obliques, piriformis, glute minor, and I can guarantee you it's going to be a little hip work. Alrighty, I feel so much better. What are we talking about? This is such a... foam rollers, man. So I'm going to do this, and then we're going to call it. We've been on this Mama Jamma for almost 40 minutes. Normally we do an hour and 15. But, you know, I'm just doing it for me. All right, this one's going to hurt. Grab your blanket, maybe get a cushion if you want it. I'm going to go all in. So the first thing I'm going to do is get this foam roller right above my iliac crest and hang here. So this is obliques. This is transverse abdominis. And now I'm going to rock back. Oh, it's right there. There it is. I can feel it. I rocked back a little. That is transverse abdominis, oblique insertion, QL insertion, maybe a little latissimus dorsi. Oh, I'm rocking back. I'm taking a little up and down here, little rock up, little rock down. I'm gonna cry. That's it, right there. It's where I was feeling it when we were doing the hip work. This is just a little different pressure. We have to do the other side too because, symmetry. Oh, God. Okay, I'll hold right here. After this, drink a shit ton of water to help flush lactic acid out of your system. It's right here. So I'm going to say this was a lot of stabilization when I was lifting these fucking blocks. I'm trying to be very mindful when I'm doing any kind of work. I try to activate the core, right? And you're stabilizing. Oh, it's right there. But, you're still utilizing a right side or a left side more if you're left-handed or right-handed. And then the opposite side stabilizes. So if you're left-handed, your right side stabilizes. Okay, I gotta get off. Oh. That was it. Good thing tomorrow is Vinny Yoga, man, because if it were anything else, I don't know if I can do it. Oh. Big release. That's it right there. All right, we're going to do the same on this side because, both sides. So I'm going to lift the body to get that roller right on top of the hip. And then I'm going to hang. Oh, yeah, here's. I'm going to move forward a little bit because I'm going to rock back. Try to stay up out of the shoulder. And then this is me rocking back. I'm going to lift my knee and lower. Maybe this is the side that's tighter. Ooh, no, the other side's tighter. Just my elbow. Oh, so did I make my point about this process being a little slower with a deeper release than the vibration of the impact gun? Oh, yeah, it's right there. This is insertions in the SI joint of the glutes, hamstring, adductors. Oh. That's why if you can get somebody who will kind of needle in on the tiny little muscles around your SI joint, we think it's all one piece, and it's not. It's your spine, your vertebrae go all the way down to your tailbone, and your SI joint doesn't, it's not fused, but it doesn't move a lot, but it can move. if anybody who has had an SI injury, or been out of, like, for whatever reason, gotten out that SI out of square, you know what I'm talking about, because there is movement there. It's sorry, I'm crying. Right, I gotta come off. Gosh, and we're not even doing subscap or teres minor today, because that's enough. Ooh, and I'm feeling that tension on the top of my foot. Isn't that weird? That's so weird. The connections of your body are so weird to me. So I'm feeling all of the muscles and the ligaments in the top of my foot now from that work around the SI in a way that I didn't before. The body is a miracle. Evolution. Evolution is a fucking miracle. It didn't just happen. There's just no way something this complex was just exploded into existence. It just didn't happen, people. Oh. Foot cramp. Okay, gotta come off that. Whew. I'm gonna take some forward folding. Let's drink some water. People, actually, that was a much longer session than I planned on, but you know what? Congratulations, it's a freebie. If you don't have a foam roller, $20, save it up. I think it's $20. I don't know where they're made. They could be very expensive now. Go get one. The cramp. That's like calf all the way down my foot. Fold, 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 fold. Jeannie, did I send you a foam roller? I'm going to send you a foam roller. If you're going to spend the summer getting healthy and rehabbing your body, I know I sent you a bolster. Oh, I got to get some chair yoga going up too. We can use bolsters. I'll do one with a bolster for free. Well, it doesn't matter, but you know what I'm saying. Oh, my toe just popped. Did you hear that? That's muscle release all the way down my leg. One of the most amazing massages, this is a weird story, but I'm going to go there, because was this woman who was she Russian? She was Eastern European in some way, shape, or form. And she didn't, like, beat me with anything, but it was kind of odd. It started out odd, and then it moved into, like, deep tissue work. And the very last thing she did, I was completely, really completely relaxed. She went and just did exactly what I was doing with my feet and kind of started manipulating all of the bones. Half the bones in your body are in your feet. That's how complex they are. And you can just see, oh, did you hear that too? I just worked that one out. And she like kind of did all the stuff, and then went down and started manipulating all of the muscles and ligaments in my foot. And then she literally, without any pressure, after doing all that, just went pop, 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 pop. My toes just released all the tension. And it was an extraordinary feeling. Anyway. Hey, my name is Julia. This is the fucking yoga company. Yoga for the rest of us. That was not yoga. That was a freebie foam roller. Oof. And I'm happy to do it because it was kind of for me. And as well. That was a gift to myself as well as to you. And grace and kindness, people. I have nothing. Up is down, down is up, backwards is forwards. We're living in crazy town. Keep on keeping on, I suppose. Ciao.